Hey everyone, welcome, welcome. We have rooted, and today is Jan 23, which is our last class in this series, where we've been focusing on relief for sciatica and piriformis syndrome. And through the rest of this live term of classes, so January through June of 24, we're going to continue this 3 to 4 week series focused on a specific topic. Keep in mind that just because you don't necessarily have a particular topic or symptom going on, please still come for class, because what you learn is then hopefully improving overall awareness and function to maybe prevent some of these things from coming up in your body later on. So all is good for pelvic awareness and education. And today, for our practice, you'll need a strap or something like it, a bathrobe tie, a leather belt, beach towel, whatever you've got. Something for some cush underneath your body. I'm going to use a folded blanket. You could use a yoga bolster instead. So we're going to start prone, face down, do a little rest and check in, a little activation up into extension, a little bit of movement, and then we'll come up through tabletop and then finish supine on our back with some stretching, okay? So find your way to a comfortable position. You're gonna support under your belly and your rib cage. Arms and elbows can be like floating pontoons on either side, or your hands go under your forehead. If you're comfortable without props, you're welcome to just come right down to your mat. But if coming down onto your belly creates any pinchy, crunchy unhappiness in your low back, then go ahead and try the support underneath you, or add additional support under your belly. So that helps you kind of round head to tail into the earth. So finding your way to a comfortable place. Taking a few moments to scan through your body and take note of your baseline sensation. So just how am I today? How am I right now? Listening to your body's clues and sensations. Trusting that your body's clues will guide you throughout class. So nothing that we do should be aggravating or cause pain. You're always welcome to scale back, modify, adjust, and make this practice yours. So tuning in to the rhythm of your breathing, and how, as we give in to the support of the ground, our breath will begin to move our spine and sacrum. So seeing if you can tap into this natural wave of the breath coming in and washing out. Inviting the muscles around your tailbone and sacrum, the muscles around and inside your sit bones, letting them all begin to soften. So the first question might be, can I sense that place in my body? And then next step in sensing, can I consciously melt? Can I feel a sense of ease or relaxation? That the breath is allowed to massage and move you from the inside out. We'll stay with 2 more breaths. Full conscious breath in. Feeling the legs long behind you. And then on the exhale, there's a receding, a condensing back into yourself. One more time on the inhale, send the toes reaching back along the floor, getting a little longer. And then melt any and all effort on the exhale. Good. Feel free to breathe normally and bring attention to your forehead. Maybe roll your forehead side to side on your hands. Maybe swallowing or move the tongue along your teeth. Getting a sense of that support from inside the mouth and down the back of the throat, so that when you come up away from the floor, there's a sense of connection. So the crown of your head is going to begin to levitate, drawing the chin or jaw back. You can let your arms adjust any angle that feels good. And with a low gaze, so just coming up maybe 20 or 30% of the way, keeping your gaze low, we're going to bend one leg and then straighten that knee. Other leg, easy bend. And then release. Couple more each side, and noticing how quiet can my hips and pelvis be while I bend my knee. Like the least amount of effort, least amount of disturbance. Maintaining a length in the spine. The wave of the breath is still allowed to move. It'll feel different with some effort, but still smooth and steady. Good, last one. Good. You could do one leg at a time, or if it feels okay to bend both legs, go ahead and take a little swish side to side. So my knees and thighs are staying on the floor, sending my shins and feet side to side, and my head naturally wants to kind of participate. So feel free to be a little fish-like. Have a little easy roll about. Jaws relaxed. When you're ready, send the feet back. You might come down and rest. Or if you're okay to add on, do a little bit of side to side movement now with our eyes, looking over one shoulder and then scan forward. Find your breath, look over the other shoulder. Notice that if your glutes are switched on some, that's okay. Just let it be a minimal effort. So not a clenching. La, 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 jaw, let's go. And perhaps the buttocks. Good. Nice, finding center, nice big inhale, feel the heart or chest broad. And then use your exhale, eyes down, heart comes down. Take a moment to rest. Give in to the floor again. And notice what parts of you switch off or soften and melt. Enjoy a nice full breath excursion down through your low back and waist into the pelvic bowl. Legs are like streams of water flowing out behind you into the ground. Good. Finish your exhale. Give yourself all the time you need. And then on a new inhale, we'll start to rise up. So again, your chin and nose are clearing the ground, maybe a few inches, maybe slightly more, but keeping a low gaze. We're going to bring the left hand in. Right arm is nice and broad. So this time we're doing our repeated extension with a gaze up and over the shoulder. So coming up to a curved or diagonal pathway, and then eyes down, heart to center. A little push from the left hand, eyes to the left. We'll feel one side of the pelvis anchor into the ground. And breathe in your own time, whether it's inhale to go up or exhale to go up. Perhaps imagining, okay, all the nerves down my low back and pelvis are smooth and gliding within their channels. They're free to move, modulating just the right amount of effort through the back body, enough to come up, but no excess clenching. Last time with the left hand pushing, nice big breath. And then slowly, slowly come back to center. Hover just off the floor and change arms. So left arm broad, right hand hugs in under the shoulder. And then this time as we come up, the right hand pushes and we look eyes to the right to see the ceiling or slightly behind us and then see the floor. How far you go is by listening to your body. Little by little through repetition, maybe your body says yes to a little further. Smooth rotation back and forth. Feeling how that one side of the pelvis is very rooted. One leg kind of grows longer. And then we come back to center. We have just one more rep. Find your breath. And eyes and heart back to center. Coming down. Good. Nice. Both hands slide under. Elbows are kind of chicken wings alongside the body. Inhale, rise part way. Exhale, just stabilize there. Feel the low belly tone a little bit. Legs are reaching long. Maybe the legs start to hover off the floor. Maybe the hands do as well. You can always come down and do one arm and leg instead of all four. Nice smooth breath. And then at the end of your exhale, slowly come back to the ground. Hands ready to push. Curl head to tail and find your way back to child's pose. If you had an ankle blanket, take that out. Feel free to sit back. You could use your bolster as your forehead support, or feel free to sit on your bolster or blanket, support your pelvis. We'll be here just for a few breaths. Feel free to make sound. Enjoy how your belly is kind of hugged into your upper thighs. Expanding the low back area that we just worked momentarily, letting it spread, broaden, lengthen. Good. One more breath cycle, full volume inhale, feeling the ribs expand, pelvis responds. And then all the way out with your exhale, finding your way to tabletop. So a little push from your shins to come up. You're welcome to use some cushion. Good. So from table, I'm going to tuck my toes, find a little weight bearing through the balls of my feet. We're going to take table rocking. So we're going to shift back into our hip crease. Feel how the pelvic bowl widens, sit bones widen. And then a little push from the feet to come forward. You can inhale on the way back to assist the widening of the pelvic floor. And then exhale, come forward with the gathering. Or you can do the opposite. You're not going to break anything. Okay. Our breath is powerful, but options are good. Options give us more resilience. So you might try inhale on the way back a couple times. Feeling the gathering with the exhale to push forward. And then maybe try the opposite. Pause, take your inhale. Use your exhale to sit back. Inhale to come forward. So noticing from your body which one feels somehow better or more pleasurable or more supported. If you're not sure, try it again the next day and see what you can feel, okay? Finding your way to center, so a little push from your feet, reestablish your table. Well done. So we've got our sacrum in the top of our pelvis in this orientation, right? Sacrum is the top tailbone there. If you'd like, go ahead and reach around and find your sit bones. Little gentle palpation. We're not poking or prodding really. We're just locating like, oh, there's my butt. There's my sit bone. And then find the other side. Locating the sit bones, that's the base of our pelvis when we're sitting and standing. Tailbone is midline, thereabouts, and pubic bone is midline, thereabouts. And those bones make a diamond. So we're gonna do the same table rocking and visualize the diamond getting bigger. So both width-wise, sit bones widen apart, and tail to pubic bone opens a little when you sit back. So bigger diamond, and then push forward, gathering smaller diamond. Same movement, but locating a new awareness with the diamond metaphor. Opening and widening. Connecting inward, upward, smaller diamond. Just one more round. Good. Pausing at table, untuck your toes. If your wrists want a pause, come on down. Release that. I'm going to do a little bit of bird dog balance or spinal balance from table. You could go to wrists or use blocks or do forearms, whatever you need. We're going to take one leg straight back. So little toes tucked, calf stretch, hello to one side. Maybe you breathe there. Maybe you float the foot away from the floor. So that side of your diamond is active. The leg that's floating is active up into the glutes. Good. Maybe the opposite arm reaches or hovers. 3, 2, and 1. Come back to table. Change legs. So send the other leg back. Heart and belly are still centered, even though we're going asymmetrical with what our legs are doing. So decide, do I keep my foot grounded or do I start to float that leg? Activate and close or narrow that side of your diamond. Feel that connection up into your glute, your strength. Maybe opposite arm. Nice long spine. 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. Good. You might rest back into child's pose. You might push and take a down dog. Let the sit bones go high. Tailbone free. So nice wide free diamond if you're going to fold into down dog. Similarly in child's pose, breathing deeply. Sending the message that the effort we needed in that moment to rise and balance can now soften. Good. Take your time to come down through table if you went up into down dog, or push the floor away through table and come on over onto your back. Good. So far, so good? Nice. All right, so have your strap handy. Coming down onto your back. You can use a little support for your head if you'd like. Good. So first we're going to do our nerve glide, kind of pedaling with the feet and ankles that we've been working on. If you want, do a little wave with your hands, your wrists. That's kind of what we're doing, this fluid swimming kind of motion, like going through water. That's what we're doing with the foot and ankle as a pulley system, so to speak, to glide and slide these nerves in the back of the leg, specifically the sciatica. So we're going to hug one leg in. Take a moment to circle. Feel your back supported against the ground, eyes calm. Letting there be space on that side of the pelvic bowl. Like, can I sink into my hip crease and trust that spaciousness? Your hands can come around behind the knee. We're going to draw the toes back towards the shins. So it's called dorsiflexion. We're going to press up through the ball of the foot and the heel, however far we can extend. The very top, swim through a pointed foot and come down. And then cycle through that again. Flexed on the way up. Paw point on the way down. About 2 more rounds. Go as smooth and yet as full of a range as your body can handle right now. Good. And then we reverse that pattern. So pointing on the way up, 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 knees extended. At the very top, draw the pulley the other way and then come on down. So we point as we extend the knee. Relax and draw the heel down. And trusting, okay, once I've got the pattern, rest my mental effort, relax the jaw, la, la, la. Trust that the foot can do its thing. Good. Give that leg a little shimmy shake. Pop that foot back down, have a moment at center. The two sides might feel quite different already. It's from the warmth and attention and movement. Let's hug the other side in. So hands can support, take a little swish or circling. Really feel that side of your back supported by the ground. And if you can, sensing that side of the pelvic bowl is spacious, broad, grounded, free. Good. Here we go. From parallel, we flex the ankle, press up through the ball of the foot and the heel. At the very top, point the foot and come down. Pedaling or cycling through about 4 times with each pattern. Going to what feels like your full range, which switches on your strength. So we're actively moving against our own resistance or imagining like we're swimming against water. And then changing the pattern when you're ready to point on the way up and flex on the way down. Feeling how that changes the dynamic, changes the sensations through the front and back of the leg. Good. Trust your pace. Got about 1 more round. Finish that side. And then when you feel complete, give it a little shake, shake, shake. And do a little ankle and calf bounce. You can take the whole leg up and shimmy shake. Good, good, good. Little simple movement from parallel, both feet on the floor. We're going to take one leg all the way out. Let gravity roll the thigh over or outward, and then draw the heel in towards your sit bone. Roll into the big toe back to parallel. We call these froggies. So sending the leg out and then dragging back into parallel. Let's go once more on that side. Seeing if you can let gravity take the leg out nice and heavy. Nice big release on the way out. Good. And side to side, both knees. Nice, easy swivel side to side. Good. And then finding your way to center. Feel how the back of your pelvis arrives into the ground. Both feet parallel, and we'll find our strap. Okay. So coming back to whatever your first leg was, ball of that foot comes to the strap. With the strap, you can grasp with your hands or loop around so that you don't have to white knuckle it so much. So feel free to loop around with your hands. And take a little bend like we did. Really feel the hip crease, your low back supported. And then as you press up through the heel and ball of the foot, try for a mostly extended knee. But keep in touch with that hip crease quality. So that side of my pelvis isn't hiked up off the floor like a bridge. I'm really grounding back through my sacrum. Sometimes I'll cue roll your tail out. So if your tailbone feels kind of up into the body, like a really strong contraction through the back of the pelvic floor, settle the tail. Imagine that you're rolling your tail out along the floor. So you're kind of differentiating that hip joint action from a spine action or pelvic floor action. Good. Little easy swish side to side. You can kind of steer it from your foot. The toes in, toes out. And then when you find toes in, shin, knee, and femur have also turned in a little bit. And you're going to move towards your opposite shoulder. Tiny movement on the diagonal. And that bent knee can cross behind for a counterbalance. So the foot that's on the floor stays grounded, but just let that thigh turn in. So you feel like, okay, I'm crossing midline with both legs. Finding a sense of support or centeredness through the hips, pelvis, shoulders. You can kind of fine tune whether you're a little more turned in or out, or the foot waves in or neutral. Good. Slowly come back through parallel. Scale back a little bit with the strap. You're going to fold that leg into your figure four. So you could keep the strap and use that as your support to come in. You could also add the other leg, foot off the floor if that feels good. And again, let there be a little life, a little movement in your figure four. So not just going to end range for a static muscular stretch, but using movement as a way to glide and slide the nerves, the vasculature, all the channels, life-giving channels of nerves and blood supply through the back of the pelvis. Nice deep breath. Sinking a little deeper into your hip crease. And then slowly scale back. We're going to send that foot to the floor. Slide all the way out, out, out. And then take a froggy. Coming back in. Feel the big toe and heel land. That side of your pelvic bowl settle. And then we'll do the other side. Okay, so second foot to the strap. Strap goes to the ball of the foot, not the arch or heel. Just a little distinction there. Can grasp or loop your hands around the strap. Moment to bend, fold the leg into your belly, and then actively extend the knee, pressing up through the heel and ball of the foot. And again, discerning in your own body if there's a lot of hiking, clenching, tension up, up, up through the tail and pelvic floor. See if you can settle the sacrum back into the ground. Imagine unfurling your tail, roll it out into the mat. The femur head sinks deeper into your socket. Feeling the pelvis on the floor. Good. Take a little swish side to side. You can move the leg side to side as well as turn and rotate as you move side to side. You can also play with the angle of your ankle to start to fine tune, where in my body do I feel like, oh, that's it right there. Oh. So finding your way towards some kind of internal rotation, some kind of movement towards your opposite shoulder, a small diagonal movement of that leg and thigh. You can use your bent leg as a counterbalance, so feel free to let that leg flag in or turn in as well. And where you feel this is up to your body. So you might feel it through the outer lower leg or calf. You might feel it more broadly through the outside of the thigh. You might feel it more distinctly into the back of the hip. So a little bit of fine tuning with rotation or the foot and ankle. Last big breath. Feeling the opposite shoulder heavy and broad. Good. Slowly come out, come back through parallel. Give yourself a little slack, little ease, and find your way into the figure four. So the leg will turn out from the hip, which makes our knee kind of aim sideways or diagonally in the room. You can keep your strap as your support. You could add the other leg for support. Picking up that foot to support your ankle. Okay. Breathing as you go and letting yourself move. Maybe a little cradling action side to side or gentle circling. Breathing space into the pelvic bowl. So if there's a lot of guarding or tension, scale back 10% in favor of breath, life, fluidity. Good. Finishing your exhale. Then slowly start to unwind from that figure four. You can set the strap aside. And take one long swoop out to your froggy. Send that leg out. Feel gravity. And then easy pull of the heel into your sit bone. Swivel to parallel and feel the inner side of the foot land. Pelvic bowl land and settle. Taking a few moments to scan and notice what you feel. Enjoying what has changed or feels pleasant. And feel the heaviness of your feet against the ground. Let them both start to track away, out long on the floor. A little bilateral froggy. So both heels pull into the body and swivel back to parallel. We'll just do about 3 rounds. Smooth and fluid. And as you roll back to parallel, then sink the feet into the floor. You're welcome to find your hands on your belly or resting your arms alongside your body. Taking a few moments to land, to integrate everything that we've done into being. Here I am, centered, gathered, collected into myself. Resting in that sense of security and connection within yourself. If it feels useful, let the weight of your head sink a little deeper into the blanket or the mat. Acknowledging the floor of your mouth or the root of your tongue. And there can be a broad, easeful quality deep inside the mouth, back of the skull, flowing down the back of your neck and throat. Flowing like a river down through your heart and spine. Down between your kidneys, flowing down the lower spine. And where your pelvis meets the ground is like the river delta that opens itself out to sea. Feeling your pelvis broad, spacious, widening out through that pelvic diamond or tailbone imagery. A sense of freedom and trust deep in your body. And simply acknowledge in yourself if there's a reluctance to close this rest time or close your practice. Know that you can come back to yourself and rest anytime you need to. Offering yourself thanks and gratitude as you begin to move in a way that feels kind. What's the kindest way that I can shift from stillness back into smooth motion, maybe eventually rolling onto your side? Letting the earth support you as you come up to your seat. Lingering for another moment. Grateful for what has shifted or what you are noticing in yourself now. And if you'd like, we can take a simple bow, head to heart. We're complete for now with this practice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope this serves you well as you come back to the recording and through this whole month, this whole sequence that builds within itself. and let me know anytime that there are questions that come up. Thanks for being here.